Welcome back to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Ian Sachs. A local standout runner, Dayton Carlson, was named to the Arizona High School Gatorade Boys Cross Country Athlete of the Year. Now he's heading to the NCAA National Championships for the Sun Devils as the lone freshman in the 800-meter race. Cronkite News reporter Lauren Green has the story on Carlson's journey to this moment.
Dayton Carlson was a local running star who came out of Castile High School with dominance in multiple races, winning the 800, 1600, and 3200 meters at state just a year ago. As a freshman at Arizona State this year, Carlson's talent was no surprise for head cross-country coach Patrick Henner.
I mean, he was running some really fast 4x4 splits in high school for a distance runner. He had a great cross-country seasons, a very good 2-mile. So when somebody has that kind of range, it definitely indicates a lot of talent and a high ceiling.
In a race that came down to the wire, Carlson took the silver in the 800 at the Pac-12 Outdoor Championships, running at 1:48.98. A week later at the NCAA Western Preliminary Meet, he ran a personal record of 1:47.79 that punched his ticket to the biggest stage in college track.
I think it's going to be fun to get out there and get some experience with the top guys in the nation. I'm really excited for it, and I think I can make it to the final round and do really well.
Dayton's claim to track started from a young age in Gilbert.
Dayton's been running since he was in kindergarten. He brought home a little blue first place ribbon from running club, and he just kind of took off from there.
The 19-year-old developed a natural leadership in the sport, which stemmed from being the oldest of 3 kids and learning responsibility at an early age.
He's been raised in a single parent home, and with that comes a lot of challenges. He's had to take a lot of leadership.
But it was his high school coach at Castile, whom Carlson had known since kindergarten, that helped take his running to the next level. And so his national meet debut came as no surprise to Coach Lemieux.
Nothing surprises me with that kid because he is an extremely hard worker and he sets his goals very high and works very hard to achieve those goals.
Seems like every time Dayton crosses the line, he's moving his way up the Sun Devil leaderboards. And no matter how he does at the NCAA championships, he's already made some ASU history with the times he's clocked so far this season.
I'm really excited to keep going with this because so far I've been able to, I think I'm number 4 on ASU's 800 list, and it hasn't been touched since 2012. So I'm ready to touch more of those leaderboards in the next couple of years.
In Tempe, Lauren Green, Cronkite News.
Carlson makes his NCAA debut tonight at 6:14 at Hayward Field. A rally to support Mercury star Brittany Griner was held in her hometown of Houston on Monday. Griner has spent over 100 days in a Russian prison after being arrested in February on alleged drug charges. The Biden administration has labeled her status as wrongfully detained. Trevor Reed, a former U.S. Marine who spent nearly 3 years as a Russian prisoner, spoke at the rally in support of Griner and fellow detainee Paul Whelan.
There is no justice in Russia. Brittany and Paul will not receive justice in Russia. They're not going to receive a fair trial. They will not receive a fair investigation. They will be there as hostages until the United States gets them out.
Phil Mickelson is among the big names to jump ship from the PGA Tour to the newly created LIV Golf Series. A string of players have joined the tour this week, including Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, and Patrick Reed. Mickelson has been absent from the PGA for a couple of months, this after his controversial remarks about the Saudi-backed Golf Series, downplaying Saudi Arabia's record on human rights. The former ASU star will play in the U.S. Open next week on an exemption granted by the USGA. It'll be Lefty's first tournament since the Farmers Open in January and his first major of the season. And finally today, The Athletic is reporting that the Suns suffered a COVID outbreak at the end of their series against the Dallas Mavericks. 6 members of the team, including 1 player, reportedly tested positive, and this might explain why the Suns went from beating Dallas by 30 points in Game 5 to losing by a combined 60 in Games 6 and 7. Well, that's all for today's Cronkite Sports Report. Back to you, Ethan.